Last week we looked at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and what basic rights humans are entitled to because they are humans. And so today in this unit we are going to be defining racism, and we are going to be looking at how the ideas of racism influenced South African government policies up until 1994. Scientists have, however, proven that there are no genetic differences between people of different races. They have shown that all humans are descended from the same ancestors who lived in Africa around 100,000 years ago. And this is why it is important to understand something about the human evolution, because it shows that racism is based on false ideas. And so, what is racism? We can define racism as the discrimination or unfair treatment based on a person's race. Race is the division of people based on physical characteristics such as their skin color. And racism is therefore when a person is regarded as inferior because of the color of their skin. There are four main types of racism. The first is historical racism, which is based on where you originate from or where a person comes from. For example, the Nazis in Germany believed that white people of German origin or the Aryan race were superior to all other people. The second type is scientific racism, which focuses on the physical characteristics of humans, such as their brain size. It believes that some races are better and more intelligent than others, and that superior races need to civilize others. The third type is institutional racism. This refers to activities that are meant to protect the advantages of a dominant group. This happened during apartheid in South Africa, when laws that discriminated against black people protected the advantages of white people. The last type is called new racism, and it does not involve scientific theories or beliefs about the inferiority or superiority of certain races. It is a less obvious form of racism and includes xenophobia, which is the discrimination against immigrants or refugees, as well as negative attitudes towards groups with different cultural values. Now that we have an idea about the definition of racism, let's have a look at human evolution and our common ancestry. Evolution refers to the changes that occur in a population over time. It is a process that results in changes that are passed or inherited from generation to generation. When successful, these genetic changes or adaptations help people or animals survive, reproduce, and raise offspring. There has been a lot of debate over the years about where humankind started. Scientists have discovered the remains of human-like creatures that lived in South and East Asia around 5 million years ago. These remains are called hominids because they are different from apes but are not fully human either. There have been more discoveries of hominids in South Africa than anywhere else in the world. The largest number of hominid bones, 500 to be exact, comes from the Sterkfontein caves. These caves were named as a World Heritage Site in 1999 and are known today as the cradle of humankind. Africa has been recognized as the birthplace of humankind. Important discoveries of early hominids have also been found in Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. It is believed that these early humans crossed the strip of land near the Red Sea, which is today known as the Suez Canal, and from there moved on to other continents. Looking at our last section for today, we are going to be focusing on apartheid and the myth of race and how the myth of race influenced decisions made during the apartheid time. Now, it's important to remember that race is the term used to describe people who share biological or physical characteristics that are defined as socially significant. However, race in itself is a myth, and it is important to note that physical racial characteristics only have significance because we give them significance. Not everyone, however, believes that racism is a myth. The National Party came into power in 1948 in South Africa and introduced a policy called apartheid. Government policies classified people into different population groups and treated them differently. They kept the different races separate as much as possible. The policy of apartheid also promoted the idea that the people who were white were superior and should be in control. These policies were based on false ideas about race and were therefore a myth. Next week we are going to start looking at the different apartheid laws But in closing, I want you to remember that physical racial characteristics only have significance because we give them significance. So what are you giving significance to in your life this week?